said holding on to the past isn't it's not healthy, and it is most of the time. It is one of the main reasons we stay sick. You know, you hold on to the things that happen, and then all of a sudden the things that happen define you, or at least in your own mind. And then you think about the damage that you've done, and all of a sudden that becomes what defines you. No, not necessarily. You have to be willing to move on in order to move on.
Correct.
You have to feel pain in order to heal.
And you do. And we have a saying in 12-step groups. It's called fake it till you make it. If you stick with the program, eventually things start to stick. You get it. The objective, don't give up on yourself. Because you're not giving up on a program, you're not giving up on a meeting, you're not giving up on a therapist, you're giving up on yourself. Don't
Amen.
do that. Don't do that. You have the ability to grasp whatever information, whatever tools you find necessary. If you don't find something necessary, leave it on the table. It doesn't pertain to you. Let it go. But the things that do pertain to you, take a second look at it. Take a third look at it. Take a fifth look at it until it finally sinks in. You know, if at first you don't succeed, keep trying. Oh, God, keep trying. That's what makes us human. We don't give up. Now, raccoons and bears, think about it. They have one mindset when it comes to food, okay? They will do whatever it takes to get that food. You need to be that tenacious. You need to go after it. You need to go after your recovery like a raccoon goes after food. You really do. Not give up. Come at it from the top of the tree, the side of the tree, the ground cover, and be tenacious about it. If that's what you want, you need to fight for it. AJ?
You also need to realize that this is a process, and one that is not going to happen overnight. A lot of newcomers get very, very frustrated. Well, I've been clean or I've been sober for 30 days and things aren't getting better. Well, gee, I don't know. You were out there for 10 years. So that's a whole lot of records that you're going to have to clean up. It doesn't happen overnight, and you just have to be willing to stick with it.
Correct. And a winning mindset is the start. It's the start. AJ equals raccoon.
I'm just seeing that now. He is being such a smart aleck this morning.
Yes, Freddie, you are. And thank goodness you're a voice of reason, because you're not an addict, but you definitely give us that point of view on how to view addicts.
And raccoon?
Yeah, okay. The Art of Mental Training. Now, this is a guide to performance excellence by D.C. Gonzalez with Alice McVeigh. Now, this is a book that I got on my free Kindle reader. And I'm telling you, it hit home on so many levels. This book is specifically, he's an athletic coach, mental trainer. He doesn't go out there on the field and do this, that, and the other thing. He gives these guys, the superstars, the mindset of winning. And it breaks it down on how it's done. I am a stage performer, so I have taken this book, and it was on my Kindle for 99 cents. I got it free through Pixel of Ink. But this guy, Gonzalez, he writes in a manner that we understand. He's not writing to a bunch of college professors. It's athletes that he writes to, and it's pertainable to everybody. Chapter 1. Well, okay. This is the premise of the book. Whatever is going on inside your head has everything to do with how well you end up performing. Now, this performance could be on a test. It could be on a stage. It could be at work. It could be at home. You can apply this to so many different things, and I did. I'll tell you, I'm very grateful for finding this book. Okay. Chapter 1 was the 3-minute lesson. And the end of it was, remember, powerful mental techniques are user-friendly and capable of delivering results very quickly. He goes on to explain everything about the breathing, the relaxation. Like we always tell everybody, breathe. We tell everybody, you need to relax. But nobody ever actually explained how to do those things. This guy does. This guy does. It's not a matter of hit and miss for years until you finally get it. This guy explains how to do it, and it works. I laid in my bed, and I did his techniques, and they were amazing. I found my passion again through his techniques. Chapter
Awesome.
2. Chapter 2
So,
was...
like,
Say
while
again?
you were teaching how to do the breathing thing, I'm going to sit back on my couch and put my head back and try to do this as you were.
Oh,
explaining.
no, you are not, because it takes about 20 minutes to actually do the exercise, and we don't have 20 minutes. Nope. Cannot do it. Sorry. Okay. Chapter 2 was on attitude. Remember, the warrior champion understands that a bad attitude can cost him everything. It affects not only how you feel, but also how you perform. Now, if you want to be a champion in anything, if you want to conquer anything in your life, you understand that you have to go into it with a good attitude to begin with. The what ifs have to be shut down. You have to imagine that you can succeed at it, and it will help propel you to do just that. Succeed. Freddie's a warrior champion. Ay. I love that boy. Okay. Now, chapter 3 was gaining the mental edge. Remember, one must consistently practice mental skills and pre-game routines in order to tap one's full potential. This guy let me realize that I do have a routine before I hit the stage. I have a routine before I go into work. I have a routine before I attack cleaning the house. And I never realized it before. But those routines help me achieve my goals when I do those things. And it's just a matter of bringing to light so you can pay closer attention to it and focus on it. It's that winning attitude. No matter what you do in life, attack it with fervor. Attack it like you know that you can get this done, and you will. Before I move on to chapter 4, we're going to go to our last commercial break, brought to you by Francis House Incorporated, located in Tampa Bay, that provide HIV supportive services in a safe environment designed to encourage and empower those affected to become self-sufficient members of the community. You can find them and all of our sponsors quicker and faster at rainbow411.com. We'll be back.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, Let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It's a great day to be gay. You're listening to GSHradio.com.
And we are back with Pit Stop. We're going to continue on. We were talking about a book that I found on my Kindle, Pixel of Ink, and it was free. The Art of Mental Training, A Guide to Performance and Excellence by D.C. Gonzalez with Alice McVeigh. And we were just getting into Chapter 4, Learning to Fly Navy Jets.
What?
Yeah, learning to fly Navy jets. He was, he was a coach. He was in the Navy as an aviator. Then he came out and he was an FBI agent. And now he is a mental coach. Okay?
Okay.
So he has a vast array of stresses and things that he had to get through in order to be able to understand the teachings of his teacher, his coach, Lao Tai. Anyway, chapter 4 was all about, now at the end of every chapter, he gives you something that you need to take away from that chapter. Remember, stay task focused. Interrupt negative self-talk and the images the moment they arise. Shut them down on the spot. Replace them with positive self-talk and positive images. Concentrate on showing your brain exactly what it is that you want to achieve. Never dwell on what you do not want to happen. Hence the difference between preparing for something that may go wrong and dwelling on it to bring it on. AJ?
It makes sense.
We were talking about how it was important about the what ifs. And the last thing you said in your blog was, what if you succeed?
We don't ever look at it like that, though, in the beginning, because in the beginning, we're so negative. It's very difficult
Exactly.
to not do it.
And in your blog, like you started with, you need to change all of those negative things. You said, what if I can't stay sober? You change it to, I'm going to stay sober today. What if I let people down? I'm not going to let people down today.
Heavy.
What if I get sober and my life is boring? I'm going to be sober and my life won't be boring today.
Heavy.
See? What if my family still won't forgive me even if I'm sober? You change that to, my family might not forgive me even if I'm sober today. These are all positive thoughts, and they're ways of getting around all those bad what ifs, that negative self-talk, the negative image. And you have to put yourself in a perspective of, I can do this. This is the champion warrior winning attitude that you need to take on for everything you do in your life. I don't care if it's work, home, an addiction, a sport, going on the stage. This is the mindset that you need to put yourself into each and every time. Positive self-talk and positive images. As soon as you feel any of those negative stuff starting to go on in your head, change it around. Immediately, cut it off at the pass. Don't dwell on it. Don't allow it to gain momentum. We are so good at making mountains out of molehills. The only mountain out of a molehill we want to make is success. AJ?
There is, people say that there's a big difference between alcoholics and addicts, but the one thing that we all have in common as far as our recovery is that we literally have to live one day at a time. We can't afford to look into the future. Living one day at a time and not stressing about the stuff that might happen and not stressing about the stuff that did happen in the past makes it a lot easier for you to do what you need to do. I literally do. I only have just for today, one day at a time. Tomorrow's going to be better.
Exactly.
And that's a part of that positive mindset.
As a matter of fact, Chapter 5 was the importance of self-belief. Remember, it's self-belief that gets everything going. Now,